Have you heard about this ride before?
Not before we watched it, no. And I've been doing better at not watching trailers before I watched the movie.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad that I didn't watch the trailer beforehand, because the trailer...
Did you watch the trailer?
After.
Me too. Yeah, same. Because like I said, I hadn't seen the movie, but afterwards I watched the trailer. What did you think?
Yeah. So I'm glad that I watched the trailer after I watched the movie, because the trailer shows basically almost all of the kills.
I watched it and I was like, okay. Because I was also watching it with everything else that I kind of learned about it after the fact that we'll talk about in a bit in mind. And I was like, okay, I can see where this came from. Okay. But I am, like you said, I'm happy I didn't watch it. I was it kind of makes you think, you know how now I complain about commercials or trailers showing the movie too much?
Yeah.
So it kind of makes me think, like, were they going through that then too, like in the 80s and the
Probably
90s?
so. But see, the funny thing about it was before I even played it on Amazon, the trailer plays.
Yeah.
But I didn't really...
Oh, got you.
But I didn't watch it. I wasn't paying attention. I was listening to it, but I was too busy in my phone doing something else. So I didn't watch the trailer.
Guys, first of all, we just started talking about this movie and we haven't even welcomed you to Destination 180. What's up, y'all? So we're still in Happy Horrordays, and this time we're talking about 1984's Silent Night, Deadly Night. Neither of us have seen this movie before. This is my movie, so I'll be hosting today's show as soon as I can open my phone. Happen. So I found this movie. I don't know. I've always seen the cover art for this movie, and I'll talk about that more when we get in the souvenir shop. But I don't know. I have no idea where I picked this movie up from. I can't say I recall it from anything, because when I watched it, it was my first time watching it. Everything was freaking brand new to me. And
I mean, it came out the same year as your favorite.
I know. And even to learn that it was low-key whooping its ass in the box office. Yeah. Like, it was whooping Freddy's ass, though, until it got pulled. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about it. Okay. I'm like, wow. Why did no one ever show us this movie?
Probably because it was banned.
Probably.
Not really banned,
okay.
But...
1984's Silent Night, Deadly Night was directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr., produced by Ira Richard Barmark, Scott J. Sneed, and Dennis Whitehead. Screenplay by Michael Hickey. Story by Paul Kaney. So this main cast, I haven't really seen too many of these people before. So we have Lillian Chauvin as Mother Superior, Gilmer McCormick as Sister Margaret, Toni Nero as Pamela, Robert Brian Wilson as Billy, the 18-year-old Billy, Britt Leach as Mr. Sims, Nancy, I'm not going to butcher her last name. Wow, look at this name. Look at this one right here.
Not even going to try it.
I'm so sorry, girl.
It looks German, though.
Yeah, she plays Miss Randall. Then we have H.E.D. Redford as Captain Richards. Wait, one more person I have to mention in this cast is Linnea Quigley. Now, let me tell you something. I don't know if you know her, but she plays Denise in this movie, right? When I watched it for the first time...
Denise is the one with the pool table scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I seen this for the first time and I saw her name in the credit, I said, excuse my language, guys. 3, 2, 1. I said, ooh, I'm about to see some titties.
Bro, this whole movie was like a soft porno.
Yes, but see, I mean, I guess
that was the
80s, you know what I'm saying?
A soft porno horror movie.
Yes, like...
Bro, I was watching this and I was like, wow, I was not prepared.
At
all. I was not prepared.
I was sitting down there where the Christmas tree lights is on and stuff, and I'm just watching it in my mouth, like, I was just like...
Because that first one, I was like, oh no, not in front of the kid. And then it was just
I think this is the first time I watched a movie. Because, you know, normally I'll watch it. If I've never seen it before, I'm going to watch it and not take notes the first time.
Nah, I took notes. So I have my raw feelings in my notes. Because...
Yeah. Like, some stuff, like, I noted, but I didn't take my usual run of notes. But this one, I think this is the first time in a minute that I've watched a movie since I've been in the theaters pre-COVID. Well, post-COVID. Or not post, I guess we still in it. Whatever. You guys know what I'm trying to say. This is the first time at home that I've watched a movie and didn't pick my phone up. I was that glued to the screen. I was just like, what is this?
Yeah, I was like, not in front of the baby.
Not in front of the baby. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of the behind the scenes of this movie, because this movie really went through a lot. So as you said earlier, opened up the same weekend as my favorite movie. I can't say ever, just because I feel like that's just a different type of shelf. But Nightmare on Elm Street obviously came out the same weekend, and it outgrossed the movie, like whooped its ass in the box office.
Yeah. Whooped its ass.
Guys, I'm just holding my mouth open because I just can't believe. I guess, I don't know why I have never just... I can't get over the fact I've never seen this movie. I actually asked my mom and dad if they remembered anything about this movie, and they told me they remember seeing commercials about this movie played during... They said they don't remember it being towards prime time, but then again, my parents were kind of those people that were at home pretty late, like 8:30ish.
So
after.
apparently it was the commercials were prime time.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at. So they were saying that, my parents in particular were saying they remember seeing the commercials, but they in particular didn't feel a way towards them. Now, I know that when I was younger, my parents would let me watch horror movies. But see, I was in the 90s. My sisters, I have a sister born in 1984, and then I have two born in the 70s, late 70s, and then I have another two born in the early 80s. So they were babies when this came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my older sisters were about 6 when this came out, so I can imagine them being scared of it. Because when I seen the trailer, I could imagine my sisters being afraid of it. Because it is kind of... I try to put myself in that mindset, that era when I watch movies sometimes.
Well, it's not that. It was more or less the fact that you have Santa Claus. It's by Christmas, around Christmas time.
Right.
And you see Santa Claus on TV killing people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. But I'm saying I'm trying to put myself in a child's shoes or put myself in a parent's shoes. Not thinking how I would think now. Like now, we wouldn't even blink an eye at that. Like we've had clowns standing on the road in 2016. Like... Okay, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying I always try to put myself in someone else's shoes.
Yeah, the kids are probably like freaking
out. Yeah, I'm saying my sisters were 6. They were probably like, what the F is this? My parents weren't one of those parents that were out picketing outside of the movie theaters, which would eventually get the movie pulled in its second week running in the movie theaters. So one of the videos I found on YouTube was Roger Ebert, and he was like shaming, like he was dragging everybody in the film, the director, the producer. He was like calling them out by names. Like if the Shade Room existed in 1984, this definitely would have been up on the Shade Room. Comments would have been eating them up. Like it would have been Santa Claus. It's all up in the comments, like with axes or something like that.
When I went to go watch the movie, like when I like told Alexa, Silent Night, Deadly Night, 5 movies popped up.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang.
I'll say I did know that there was a second movie because I don't know if you know, but everybody knows that famous Garbage Day line. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Now, knowing what we know now, we know who, well, I know who it's supposed to be, but we'll get to that later. Well, speaking of getting to that, let's go ahead and head to this cue line because I'm just ready to talk about this movie, okay?
Howdy, survivors. Please keep your tips and limbs inside the vehicle and remain seated at all times. Hang on to your personal belongings, especially your minds and spines, 'cause this here's a wild ride.
Miss Janae.
Yes.
So for this week, I found a little fun quiz for you.
Oh, gosh.
In the movie, don't do this. In the movie, Billy has Santaphobia or clausophobia, which, you know, obviously is the fear of Santa. Even though, you know, I feel like this was pretty much trauma-induced, but we'll get into that later. I'm about to ask you 13 questions.
About phobias?
Yes.
Oh, God. How did I know?
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Question number 1. Aerophobia is the fear of what?
Airplanes.
Oh, dang. Well, hold it.
Oh.
The fear of flying, fear that you will run out of oxygen, fear of polluted air.
Oh, flying.
Flying? Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. That is correct. Okay, that's one. Number 2. Which one of these words means fear of heights? Algophobia, anthrophobia, acrophobia.
I want to say it's acra.
Okay. That's good. Good job.
Whoa.
2 out of 2.
The only reason why I said acra is because acra makes me
Like
think
acrobat.
of... Yeah.
I do that too. I like try to break down a word. Question number 3. Okay, girl. You just got to trust me because I'm going to try. Okay? Ophidiophobia is defined as the fear of what? The fear of singing, fear of having your picture taken, or fear of snakes.
Oh, how do you spell the part before the phobia?
Girl. Ophidio.
Singing.
Singing, okay. No. It's fear of snakes.
Snakes?
Yeah. So I'm not going to stunt. I took this quiz just to make sure we didn't have like no random issues, or just to make sure this was just a good quiz, and some of these messed me up. I was like, she gonna like this one.
Snakes.
But yeah, that was snakes. I was surprised too. I think I picked having your picture taken. I can't remember because I took this like a few days ago.
That's not picture taken one. I know, but
you know that one. Okay. So number 4. Someone has turophobia, is afraid of what? Tunnels, cheese, turtles.
Tor, like T-O-U?
T-U-R-O. Turophobia.
You said tunnels, cheese, and turtles?
Yeah. Well, tunnels, cheese, or turtles, but you know, you get the idea.
I want to say tunnels.
You want to go with tunnels?
Yeah.
Okay. It is cheese.
Cheese?
Yes. We are 2 for 4 right now. Well, 2 out of... Yeah, I said that right.
Cheese?
Yeah, I told you some of these mess me up, girl. This next one really gonna mess with you. Just trusting your friend, girl. You ready? Question number 5. What is the word for the fear of Friday the 13th?
What?
Is it... I hope Jeffrey from Killer Flicks is listening, because I hope he knows this one. Is it triskaidekaphobia?
What?
Girl, I'm going to just spell it because I'm not going to even try. TRIEIGIORNO phobia.
What?
Girl. And then trypanophobia. So is it...
Okay, what was the first one again?
Yeah, I'm about to give you the first one again. Triskaidekaphobia. The incredibly long one that I spelled. I'm going to try to pronounce it. Tregiornophobia, or trypanophobia.
DiGiorno.
I was thinking of DiGiorno too. I was like, oh, I'm pronouncing this fancy.
Let's go with the third one.
The third one?
I feel like it's wrong, but...
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Alexa, you in here cheating, girl. Oh my goodness. That's actually not right, by the way.
I figured that it wasn't right.
It's actually the first one.
It had to be between the first and the third one, but...
Because I'm like, that second one, I wonder, is that real? Somebody look it up. Somebody rewind like 40 seconds and hear me spell it again and look it up and tell us what it is.
Oh my God.
What does the you know this one. What does the acronym for FOMO stand for?
Oh, fear of missing out.
There you go. She got it right. 3.
Question this week. This week I'm doing terrible.
Question number 7. What is the antonym or opposite of FOMO? Alone time master, ATM. Never freaking heard of that. Thankful for missing out, TFMO. Joy of missing out, JOMO.
I want to say joy of missing out. I've heard that one before.
That is correct. 4. She's stepping up in the world, y'all. She's halfway there. This is question number 8. How would you describe someone who's afraid of confined spaces? You know this one.
Claustrophobic.
Yeah. That's correct. Number 5. Well, 5. Question number 9. What's the correct word for the fear of clowns? You might know this one. Hold up. I said it earlier. Catagelophobia. Yeah, catagelophobia. There's no word for this, only the fear. And calorophobia.
Calorophobia?
That's correct.
Oh.
Good job. So that's 6. Question number 10. Aclophobia is described in the dictionary as unjustified fear of the number 8, an abnormal fear of crowds, not clowns, crowds, an exaggerated fear of losing one's sight.
Wait, what was the phobia?
Aclophobia.
Spell it.
OCHLO.
And what were the options again?
The unjustified fear of the number 8, an abnormal fear of crowds, an exaggerated fear of losing one's sight.
Maybe the sight.
The sight? That is incorrect, my lady. It is the abnormal fear of crowds. I feel like I might have that from time to time.
Yeah, that was me when I was in college.
In college?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Well, because...
Not saying you, but I can.
I did... Our calf was like really small,
Mm-hmm.
and the calf would be popping and packed on Wednesdays and Fridays because Wednesday was fried chicken Wednesday, and then Friday was fried fish Friday, and I would never go in the calf during lunchtime.
I wish we had fried. We probably had fried fish. I don't remember. It was a lot of stuff going on, and then we would have different foods in different areas of the university. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have 6 out of 11. I was trying to make sure I kept my fingers up because I knew we was about to start talking. I was going to put my fingers down real quick. Okay. 6, question 11. Though rarely used... Oh, gosh. I said this earlier. I practiced, man. I promise. Though rarely used, arachnobutyrophobia means someone is afraid of peanut butter, spiders, or flammable objects.
It's not spiders. I know that. You said arachibutia?
Butyrophobia. So I'm going to spell it. ARACHIBUTY.
Oh, fire.
Oh, fire. It is peanut butter, baby.
Peanut butter?
Peanut butter, baby.
These don't even make sense.
Peanut butter, baby. Some of them, like this one, I got it wrong. Because I thought it was fire too. I don't know why I thought peanut butter. I feel like it would sound like something else. I don't know. Okay, so we're still 6 for 12. What does xenophobia mean? Fear of cats, fear of the color blue, fear of dogs.
I don't know at this point. I quit.
You got like 2 more. 2 more.
Dogs.
And guess what? That's right, girl. You got 7. Come on, last one. See, push. Just a push, girl. Misophobia is Misophobia is defined in the dictionary as the fear of oneself, the dread of dirt or filth, the fear of pain.
Misophobia?
Mm-hmm. MYSO.
Let's go with dirt.
Put him in the dirt. That's correct, girl.
What?
You're 8. See, you came up 8 out of 13.
Dirt.
Yes.
What?
See? 8 out of 13. You did
Misophobia
good.
is dirt. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right, people. Y'all can tell us how you did, but I don't know about you. I'm ready to get on this ride.
Ooh, child.
Girl, let's go. Guys, when we come back, we're going to talk about 1984, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. You've made it through Halloween. Now try and survive Christmas. Silent night. Deadly night.
Pull up that song.
What's up, girl? The songs. First, let's talk about the songs in this movie. The songs in this movie, if dark humor was a person, it was this movie. That Sweet Baby song sent me all the way. Which song you finna play?
Christmas Eve is slowly fading. Can you hear him in the night? Close the door, turn out the light.
I started singing this joint at one point.
Hey, yo, listen. When it first came on, I looked at my screen and I was like, okay, it's a wreath. I was like, okay, it's them old school vibes again. But then when it came up in the screen with the blood and stuff,
Right,
I said,
I
I sat down. I
what?
said, oh, this is about to be good. Okay.
But
I can
no,
tell.
by the end of the movie, I was actually singing the song. Because I was
Yes.
like-
Same. Santa's watching, Santa's waiting, Christmas Eve is slowly fading. Like, why did this not get picked up? Like, and there's a soundtrack.
There is a soundtrack.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, I gotta save that for the souvenir show. Okay, come on, we gotta start. All right.
Oh man.
So the beginning of this movie, I don't know if you peeped. You've seen The Shining before, right?
Yes.
So at the beginning of this movie, it was supposed to be giving you vibes of The Shining. How the family is like driving, you know, on the mountainside, and they're driving in a car. Danny's in the back, Wendy's on the side, Jack's right here, you know. So they're on the way to go see Grandpa, who's at the Utah mental facility. But before we get there, Billy is the cutest little 8-year-old.
Well, he was 5.
Oh, he's 5,
Yeah.
yeah. Billy's the cutest little 5-year-old that I've seen. He's so concerned about what if he doesn't get back home in time to get in bed. And that's naughty. So what I did, every time when I watch this movie, I don't know why I have to say this, but I guess I have to say this every show to you guys now. If you haven't seen the movie at this point, we're about to spoil it. So, skedaddle if you haven't seen it.
Come back when you have.
You know, yeah, because here it goes. All right. So every time that somebody told him something was naughty, I went ahead and wrote it down because I feel like obviously that's what would trigger a lot of other events that we were going to run into later in the movie. Oh, wait. Time out. Why was the baby not in the car seat?
All I can say was it was the 80s. That's all.
I feel like in
That's
every
all I can
movie,
say.
I feel like in every movie that's like older than, we haven't done a 90s. Oh, yes, we have. We've done a 90s movie. But we
Mikey.
said it then. And The Good Son. Because remember,
That's
them
true.
little bad kids was running around and everything. He's like, it was just the times. It's the
Yeah.
times. It's like times now. You can't be doing all of that. Billy's parents are basically teasing him, saying like if he's naughty or if he stays up too late, he won't get any Christmas from Santa Claus. But then there's some scary foreshadowing because the mom's like, yeah, because you're going to get a big gift from Santa Claus. We thinking toys, but whole time. I feel so bad for him. All right, so we're at the mental facility.
18 years of trauma. That's your gift.
Okay. Literal 18, okay? Dead on the scene.
Ooh.
Shout out to Ginger Snaps. Anyway, I had no idea whose dad this was. Because both of them call him dad, which isn't weird, obviously. But I'm like, whose dad is it? Is it yours or his?
Yeah.
Because both of them were referring to him like they were his or whoever's actual dad. I'm like, whose dad is
I think
this?
it was the mom's dad.
I thought so too, but then like Jimmy was like, dad is me, Jimmy. And I'm like, okay. I don't know, because even in the car, I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever. It was just like, I really The second time I made sure to pay attention to see if I missed something, but I really just didn't pick it up. But it's no big deal. They leave Billy with Grandpa, who's like
But before
catatonic
that,
in
he was a
chair.
little snarky one.
Who?
I don't think he'll respond to you. Well, then why are we here?
Okay. But I feel like when you a kid, you just be asking all types of questions.
And I love
kids.
kids. I was like, I love kids because they
Right.
literally say what's on their mind.
They just
like,
need to know.
No filter.
They leave him with Grandpa, and then Grandpa pulls a Toy Story and just comes to life and scares the F out of little Billy. Like, he's literally just sitting in the chair, and he just...
Like, his whole animated face, his face, like, got some life to it.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
But his little raspy voice was making my chest hurt. I couldn't deal.
I feel like Grandpa was probably the scariest part of this movie, to be very honest with you. I'm not going to stunt.
When he went back to normal?
Yeah.
That was
And,
scary.
okay, so first of all, so I peeped that. So Santa. So, never mind. I was about to say something, but it's cool. I'll hold it. When the parents come back in the room, before then, and he's talking to him, telling him, you know, like what Santa does to naughty kids. Have you heard of Santa Claus? Billy's like, yeah. He brings presents to all little good boys and girls, whatever.
Basically telling him that Santa was going to, like, beat him up or be bad or punish him.
Yeah, like, he's making the punishment
bad.
sound, like, worse than just a lump of coal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the parents come back, but what I'm getting to is Grandpa slouched in the chair, like, down here. But when the parents come back, when I say he Toy Stories right back to catatonic state.
Exactly. And then it was like, it almost looked as if he never moved at all. It was so weird. It was like his face went from being evil and animated to like lifeless.
Literally.
Just like that. It was so weird.
If Toy Story was a person, he could be in a live action remake of Toy Story.
If he's still alive.
Right. Rest in peace. May you rest. All right. They're on their way back home, and Billy gets to asking about Santa after, you know, Grandpa just traumatized him. And he's telling his parents basically what he heard from Grandpa. And they're like, okay. They kind of start believing him, though. You know, that never really happens in movies. Parents normally just dismiss what the kids say.
Yeah, I like that this time.
But I'm like, my kid is like really freaked out about Santa Claus when earlier today he was all for seeing Santa Claus. So you got to know something is wrong. And this is where his mom says, I can't remember verbatim what she says about the grandpa, but Billy's like, that's naughty to talk about old people like that.
Mom, you shouldn't say naughty things about old people. Santa's gonna punish you.
Right.
And
so
I put he was so cute when he said that.
His little eyes, his little bowl cut. Oh my goodness. So cute. So we get a cut to the gas station here. And this is where we meet our initial Santa, as I'll say. We get a lot of people in Santa Claus suits in this movie. So this is Santa number 1. Okay, we're gonna tell y'all like it's story time. This Santa number 1. So he's robbing a corner store, and I don't know if he intentionally went in there and was like, yeah, I'm gonna rob this store, or did the guy just piss him off saying like he was a fake Santa?
No, I think he went in there with the intention to rob it.
Probably. So he shoots the attendant 3 times, twice to the abdomen, and then pops him in the head. That effect looked really good.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So he rides out, and I'm trying to just figure out, like, you woke up today and chose violence.
And they had the nerve to be like, $31, that's it?
Right.
Sir, what?
Like, it was a corner store in the middle of nowhere, it looked like. What did you think? Right. Anyway, we get back to, I don't even know their last names. We cut back to the car, and this is where Johnny's bop plays.
Oh, they was playing the bop in the car?
Yes, they was playing
snap.
there too.
Santa's watching, Santa's waiting, Santa's creep. Man, that's the part that creeped me out when they. Okay, it's like a little. I'm saying going ahead of time, but when the people were actually singing this,
yes,
and they were like Santa's creeping, and I was like,
and see, I was listening to the words too because I was like, okay, so there's more to the words. It's not just that, yeah. This is where they spot Santa in the middle of the road, and Billy's not messing with this. He's like, y'all need to go. Like, I don't want to see Santa Claus. Like, what part of this don't y'all understand?
And before I knew something bad was going to happen, and I was like, they should just listen to Billy and kept driving.
Yes, like so being the nice people that I'm pretty sure that they were, they stopped, and they ask him, like, do you need a ride? Do you need some help? And immediately the wife spots that Santa Claus is like pulling a gun out of his pocket, and she's telling him drive away, which he does. I will give them that. They did move very quickly, you know. They could have, you know.
But couldn't escape
you
them
know, in the
pops
latest
through that glass.
Exactly. Call him straight to the head. Oh my God. So the car backs up into the ravine, right? Or ditch, whatever you want to call it. And at this point, the dad is dead. He falls out of the car. The Santa Claus comes back around to the passenger side, snatches the mom out. Wait, time out. Which version did you... Oh, you watched this on Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay, so time out real quick. We know we're talking about a juicy murder real quick, but I have to say this first. This movie, if you notice when you watched it, some scenes cut to like a real grainy kind of peaky quality. So what happened was there was one version that all of those parts was cut out. But then, you know, as time went on and we started becoming desensitized to stuff, they added those parts back in, but they couldn't really, they couldn't bring it up to...
Because I was trying to figure out why
what I'm
some
trying
parts
to
were
say.
grainy and some parts were...
So those were originally cut out, especially like, you know, when the Karens was protesting and stuff. So to get it put back in theaters, the, you know, like the
So
MPAA
like, but
and all
no,
of that.
but like it was like in one of the scenes that wasn't a bad scene that was grainy, and I'm like, why is this grainy?
I think it might have been, you know, you got to think like when you put stuff back, you got to put certain plot points back in too to make stuff make sense. So, okay. Back to this murder. So he runs back around to the car, pulls the mom out. He's on top of her, and I guess he's attempting...
But before this happens, though, little Billy hop up out the car
because
and run
remember,
and
Grandpa
hide.
told him, run. If he ever seen Santa, he said, you better run, boy. And
So he got up out the car. But mind you, the baby in the car screaming. Billy run and hides in the ditch.
Baby.
But yeah, keep going.
So he gets on top of the mom, and I guess he's attempting to rape her. He rips open that shirt. She fights back. Now, I'm going to give this family credit. Everybody, okay, except for the poor baby. Sweet baby. Defenseless. But everybody was smart in this situation. I will say that.
I was not expecting to see titty sprawl.
When I seen Linnea Quigley's name, now, that's not Linnea Quigley. That's another actress.
So who is Linnea Quigley? Is she like a porn star or something?
She's not a porn star. But she's a horror icon, but she is known for those pretty titties. Not gonna lie. Sorry, Mom.
Yo, one thing about this movie, though, was like everybody had perfect boobs.
Perfect boobs!
I was like, literally everybody. And I'm like, what is this? First of all, I'm not even expecting to see titties. And then...
I already knew okay, so have you ever seen Nightmare on Elm Street 4?
I probably stopped at the second one.
The fourth one was like more... I can't wait till we get into that franchise. But anyway, the fourth and fifth one are more MTV installments. So, you know, at the time, you can get away with a lot of stuff. So there's a cool scene that she's kind of like in Freddy's body. And I can tell her this because it's not ruining anything. But she's
I think I've seen that one.
The reason that her name is even credited is for those boobs. Like, she presses up against, like, this effect, and you know those are Linnea's boobs.
Listen.
Just like we know Rihanna's titties. I bet you do. I know you do. Let me tell you something. Anybody listening to this.
It's so funny. I literally just seen a gif of her boobs today.
See? I'm telling you. You
like,
know those boobs. You know them.
And it was from the Wild Thoughts video.
The Kiss It Better video. That's the one. All right.
But no. I really thought that the little boy... I was like, dang, you gonna sit here and rape the mama in front of the little boy?
But... Well, okay, and not in the rapist's defense. Billy was out of Dodge. And I'm not saying he would have did it regardless. I'm not defending him at all. But Billy was very smart hiding behind that ravine. Because, you know, some kids... I don't know. I probably would have tried to fight him. I don't know what I would have done, to be honest.
But I'm glad she fought back,
My 5-year-old self, I'm glad she fought back. She ends up getting a knife to the throat. And at this point, he's looking for Billy now. And I'm thinking he's going to do something to the baby. And I'm getting so sad because at this point, this is where just face black and little sweet baby is starting to play.
Yeah, and then I got scared because I'm like, damn, did they kill the baby?
Bruh, I was...
Especially once the next scene starts up and you only see Billy.
Only see him for so long, and
like,
you just
dang.
really wonder because then your mind goes to wonder like, how did the rest of this night play out? Like,
where
did they find him? Like, did he stay with the baby? Like, how long did Billy hide from this man until the man just walked off? Like, That's very traumatizing.
It's
when
actually
you think
like
about
you in the
it.
middle of nowhere.
And I kind of like that they don't show you that, because that just leaves your mind to wander. Like, he's really messed up. So now we find Billy. He's in an orphanage home, and this one actually has a name. It's St. Mary's Home for Orphan Children. They let you know some years have passed.
3 years. So now he's 8.
Mm-hmm. And they're in the classroom, and Sister Margaret asks Billy, they're all like doing Christmas drawings, and she asks Billy to bring his up to the board. And I took a picture of this because this was a lot. And this kind of made me think of The Good Son, because didn't he draw, or was it Mikey? One of them bad little
Mikey
boys.
drew.
Somebody drew. Yes, it was Mikey drew his little sister.
But here's the
drowning in
thing,
pool.
though. It was the fact that Mikey drew what he did.
Yes.
But instead of that, this time, Billy's drawing what he wants to happen to Santa.
Exactly. So they see the picture. What actually happens is a little girl that sees the picture, but it ends up being a picture of Santa Claus. He's like, somebody stabbed him up, okay? It's a little blue Christmas tree. That Christmas tree is real nice. And then it's a beheaded reindeer. And Mother Superior is just looking at this with the most disgust. And she sends him off to his room, but it's like he's obviously traumatized.
First off, I don't like Mother Superior. She's rude as hell.
First of all, I
Then-
wanted to fight Margaret too, but I'll talk about that later.
No, but she was rude as hell to Margaret, talking about something. I don't care about what you think. Haven't you learned that?
Yeah, about the coping mechanisms?
Yes, like, ma'am.
So I was like, piggybacking off what you're saying, Sister Margaret was like, this gets worse and worse every December. We have to like do something about this. And as you said, she's like, I don't believe he even remembers what happens. Girl, what? Did you not just hear that fight we just told you about a few minutes ago now? Well, anyway, so Sister Margaret ends up telling Billy that he can go back outside. And this is where I wanted to squad up with her. Just listen to this. She told him that he had to go to his room for that drawing, right?
Yeah.
So then Sister Margaret told him he could go outside. And you know this happens to every kid. One adult tell you one thing and the other one. You already know where I'm going with this. So Billy even said, he was like, no, I can't come out my room because Mother Superior says so. And she was like, no, you could come in. Why didn't you walk him outside? Next, when Mother Superior, what happens is, as he's going outside, he gets distracted because he hears some shit going on.
He hears that moaning.
Okay, he hears some shit. And he knows it. We all knows it. You know what he heard.
He
So
heard
goes
them
and looks.
moans.
First of all, this
child.
looks like a little cartoon. It looked like some Scooby-Doo. Like he looking through the little keyhole or whatever.
Right. And this is why I'm like, wow, is this the soft porn? Like, they're literally having sex.
Yeah. They was getting away with a lot.
Having
Yeah,
sex.
okay.
Oh my God.
See if we doing that now. I mean, it probably is some movies like that now, but I don't know. I can't think nothing straight
It's
off right
literally
now.
that 80s soft porn in all the movies.
He's looking through the keyholes and he sees some teenagers in the orphanage. Basically, they...
Doing the do.
Okay. Mother Superior catches Billy, which leads her to the teenagers, and she punishes them. So this is another Santa Claus. It's another naughty thing. Sex is naughty.
No, she beat the crap out of them with
Did
that
you hear her
belt.
saying, take it? She was like, take it. Sinners.
But
Devil.
she like opened the door and oh my God, it's like that she's standing over them and the camera's panning up at her and she got the belt in her hand and she started beating them. But the thing that got me was when he's looking through the peephole and then he sees the dude caressing her nipple and then he starts having flashbacks of his mom's nipple or boobs and then the fact that she got her throat slit, and I'm like, damn, now he gonna have thoughts of stabbings and throats being
Yeah,
slit
when he
anytime
sees-
he sees titties.
Yeah. Like, ain't that messed
That's
up?
so bad.
That's so bad.
That's actually sad.
Okay, and you lived at a time when it seems everybody had PTs. Very jealous. Well, I mean, had to be somebody.
Like, what? All right, so now he goes outside to play.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes outside to play now, and then Mother Superior comes outside to whip his ass. But at least in this scene, right before she does that, we find out that his brother is alive.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess. And they just sleep that it's because your brother's crazy. That's why.
No,
First of
he's
all,
not.
Richard gonna step for his brother. Anyway, this is where I wanted to squad up with Sister Margaret. Because why didn't you say something? All you had to do is just say, Mother Superior, I asked him to come outside to help me with something and then told him he could play. That's a lie, but just say you told him to come out.
Well, she started to say, she did say that.
Did she?
Yeah, she said, I told him, she was like, shut it.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when she's like, what did you see them do upstairs in the room? I didn't see anything.
So she told him that So she tells him that we're always caught when we're naughty, and punishment is absolute and punishment is necessary. And poor Billy ends up getting his little butt whooped.
Yeah, I'm not feeling her.
And I'm like, I still feel like Sister Margaret could have did more. That poor baby, he got in that bed, his butt was hurt. He was really acting, because I know they didn't beat him for real, obviously, but I believed him when he hobbled to that little bed. I was like, yeah, I had flashbacks. Like,
I wasn't feeling
me and John Nay grew up in the paddle area. I don't know if John Nay got paddled, but I definitely got paddled.
Flashback
with like
to
a sorority with like a sorority paddle.
No, flashback to whatever episode that is when I told you about how our faces were on the paddles.
Oh yeah.
What episode was that? God. Some episode. My great aunt had our face.
One of them bad kids of four.
On a ping pong paddle. And
that catch wind.
And the wooden ping pong paddle at that. Because, back then, they didn't have the little plastic ping pong paddles. Everything was wooden. The tennis rackets, everything was wooden.
No, them really, oh my God. My parents, especially my grandpa, the Menard paint sticks or like the Lowe's paint sticks. Oh, they used to
We used to get those two. Paint sticks.
See, look, we don't...
Traumatized.
The trauma man. Anyway, later that night, speaking of traumas, he's having nightmares so bad that they scare him out of the bed. I guess, I don't know where he was running to. Who can I run to?
He looked like he's about to run down them steps.
Yeah, he was. That's why I'm like, where you going, baby? So Mother Superior catches him, and obviously they're not supposed to be out of bed. So she ties him to the bed, which... Billy, if you had calmed down, you could have slid your little hand out. Now, you might have hurt yourself a little bit, but you could have slid your little hands out of there. You were small enough, but
I'm not feeling her. And never mind, keep on. I'll talk about this in a minute.
So, Sister Margaret, you also could have loosened his hands too. I'm just gonna get on everybody. Little boy that was sleeping on top of Billy, you could have helped too. I'm just gonna come at everybody head in this movie. The next day is Christmas morning, and Mother Superior walks in, and she goes, I see greed when I should see nothing but gratitude. Did you hear her say that? Baby, let them kids play with their toys.
I do not like her.
I feel like you're going to say the same thing I'm going to say towards the end. We going to get there, girl. All right. She's confident that her methods are going to work, and she's going to force Billy to sit on Santa Claus's lap. No. Why? Obviously, that doesn't go well because Billy pops the everlasting F out of Santa with the left hand. Billy's a lefty.
Like, and then here's the thing. Then the next scene, she gonna beat him talking about he needs to experience gratitude. But this my thing. The child has experienced a traumatic event and you're trying to beat him into submission. When has that ever worked? He needs therapy, not beatings. He's 8 years old.
At all. And I will say the end of the scene when he's like in the corner saying like he doesn't want to be bad, that dang near broke me because I'm like, I want to help you because I know you're not doing anything wrong. I know you're just scared.
Bruh, he is traumatized. And every year you try to just make him sit on Santa's lap. And he's like deathly terrified.
And you just make a fool of him every Christmas.
Y'all know that somebody dressed up as Santa Claus killed his parents.
Yes.
But yet you're trying to make him like Santa. It don't work like that.
It's not. No. Anyway. We fast forward 10 years to spring 1984. Sister Margaret is trying to get Billy a job at Iris, which Iris is named after the producer. Billy's a cutie.
Right, I put that.
Okay, Billy.
I was like, Billy grew up to be kind of cute. The camera panned up, showed his little muscles and everything. I was like, oh,
snap. His little hair. I said, okay,
Billy. Billy grew up to be real fine.
Okay,
like,
hi, William. Okay, so this is where we get this little montage. This montage was something else. This warm side of the door music. I'm like, who's the genius? Who did this? Because I'm really entertained. I wasn't even bothered by it. I was feeling it. Normally montages get on my nerves, but this, I was fine with it. So basically, it's just showing him getting used to working at Iris. It seems like he's adjusting well to life, but what ends up happening is, before I get there, did you notice like the punch card timesheets that they had?
Yeah, I was like,
I remember going to work with my mom and she had those when I was like super tiny. It seems like Ira's is like super lit. They have all the toys.
Yeah,
I'm seeing toys now. This was the 80s. I wasn't born until 1992, but a lot of toys in there I recognize. First of all, those masks.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Those was like first generation. Like those were like when the eye holes were like way too big, so they just looked super hollowed out. Did you see those Mickey Mouse ones? They looked scary. I should have took a picture of it. They look terrible. But anyway, it's another part in the montage that I think is so cute. So we have this little butthole Andy. I'm gonna call him Little Andy because he's short. Little Andy is like sitting at his desk and he's like drinking a beer or whatever. He's like offering it to Billy.
Stockroom Andy.
And Billy takes his little milk. He doesn't drink alcohol.
Well, he's 18.
So,
when did the 21 rule came into play?
How old was you when you started drinking?
10th grade in biology.
Exactly. Okay.
Drinking Bacardi.
And don't say it's the time. Because, no, they was doing all types of stuff in the 80s. You cannot tell me otherwise.
10th grade in biology class. Drunk.
By the end, you said who?
I said 10th grade in biology class, drunk off Bacardi.
By the end of the montage, Mr. Sims and Pamela unveil a Christmas banner that kind of triggers Billy when he's... First of all, that Santa is creepy, though. I don't like that Santa. My mom has placemats that has a Santa that looks like that, and it does kind of unsettle me. For some reason, his face just looks weird. It's something about his cheeks being that big and his eyes being that small and beady. I don't know. I feel you, Billy. Anyway, he's trying hard to control his self.
He was shaking in fear.
Yes.
Like,
but I'm just like, Sister Margaret, you didn't tell them he was...
That's the only thing that I didn't like about this is like, why aren't y'all telling people?
Yeah, like nobody's talking about this,
especially since it's been 18 years and it hasn't been resolved.
Like I feel like that's something when you apply for a job, you say that, especially when you're gonna work like in retail or something, because you already know
the holiday season.
You already know. So Lil Andy picks on Billy again for no reason.
Oh, before that though, like when he had knocked over that stuff because he was scared.
Yeah.
You see Pamela's outfit?
I wanted to talk about her outfit. Okay, so she has like, I can't remember verbatim, but I want to say she has on a teal blue shirt on.
Yeah,
but
it's like a baby blue.
It's like a little A-line skirt. It's baby blue, but it ombres in the purple, and then it's like these little purple shoes, but they're heels.
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, you better be wearing heels up in this toy store. And then, like, she's a little brunette, so she has, like, that wavy, curly, pink curl, 80s hair. Girl, she was cute. Okay. Butthole Andy picks on Billy for no reason at all. Just talking about, he's basically pointing out that he's acting weird. But, newsflash, buddy, it's the holidays. My man's is scared of Santa.
Right.
No one knows about this, so of course he's acting weird. So, anyway... Billy curses for the first time. You can tell he doesn't want to curse. I'm like, y'all are turning my innocent baby out. He already scared of the world. Oh, I felt so bad for him throughout this movie. I'm going to say that so much. Let's play a party game. Take a shot every time I say I feel bad for Billy. Starting now. This is where I think this happens in the middle of the day. I'm not sure, but this is where Billy has his little sex fantasy dream about Pamela, and you see his little booty hair. You didn't see that booty hair? Girl, it was like
he was hairy.
It was like the shot was coming up the leg. It was like the soft corner, like you said, and then it was just like hairy booty.
Yeah, he
like
was
I don't
hairy.
have a problem with hairy men, obviously, but that was a different view. That's not the view Ariana Grande was talking about. Anyway, his sex fantasy gets messed up because by the time that I guess they start getting into it, Santa Claus comes and stabs him in the back. And it
didn't happen until he, like, the boobs start getting shown.
Yes.
And that's why I was like, this is sad. He can't even have a proper sex dream because he associates boobs with being stabbed because he saw his mom throat slit once the killer Santa exposed her boobs.
Yeah.
Like, that's so sad.
So he cowers back in the corner once again. And I feel so sorry for him. Game starts now. Anyway, in the next... Blah, blah, blah. We later come to find out at Iris that the Santa that was supposed to come in for this season broke his ankle in like a skating accident or something like that. So he can't come in. So Miss Randall is playing with the idea of Mr. Sims being Santa Claus, right? Mr. Sims don't want to do it. I don't know why. I'm like, you just should have did it. You fit the costume way more than First of all, you trying to come at Billy by saying he fat. That baby is skinny and muscular, okay? You got the whole Santa Claus belly going on. Why you ain't put the outfit on? If you would have put the outfit on, you'd still be breathing right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, they get Billy to put it on, but see, they do it on some slick shit. This what they do.
So like Stockroom Andy was jealous AF before this though. He was trying to say that Mr. Sims didn't like him. Mr. Sims came and talked about something, Billy boy. Like, no, sir.
Oh, I wrote about the mask twice in here. They must have really scared me. Okay. So they put Billy in this outfit, and they do it on some slick shit. So this is what happens. So when Mr. Sims comes back there, he just basically, he's coming to check on Billy. And he's like, I need you to do something. And Billy's like, yeah, anything you ask. We see Billy in a freaking Santa Claus suit.
And that made me upset because I'm like, this wasn't going to end well. Like, you're unknowingly making him face his fears by becoming the thing he's scared of.
Now, I know that this is a movie, but I just want...
And now he's really... And I knew he's going to become the thing that he's scared of.
Let's treat this like this is real life. Mr. Sims had both hands on this boy's shoulders. You didn't feel his heart jumping out his chest? Because I know it was. I know this is a movie, so I know we're all acting, but no. I know you had to feel how scared that boy was. Like, he was stone cold, frozen, staring at himself in the mirror. He could not believe that he actually had this suit on.
Poor child.
So the event comes back around. Y'all telling him, okay. But before they actually let him go about his business, they was like, just remember to be jolly. Be jolly? This jolly character bodied my parents, sir. We come to a line full of kids, and there's one little girl that's sitting on Billy's lap, and she's not having it. She's scared of Santa Claus too, or she's just uncomfortable. Or, little kid syndrome. Kids be sensing bad energy, and when you're scared of them, so they're going to be scared of you. I don't know. That might not have been it at all. She could have just been scared of Santa, but she's squirming around. And at first, the scene kind of already makes you uncomfortable because you already know Billy's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, most boys tell me that when they have sons or when they deal with younger boys, they know they can be rough with them because they're a boy. They know how to handle themselves. I'm not saying it on any sexual things. I'm just saying, like, a lot of boys tell me when it comes to younger girls, they know that they're a little more delicate, so they can't treat them the same way. So that's kind of what I got from how Billy was situated with the girl. He was also uncomfortable, but it probably made him more uncomfortable that was a young girl. You know what I'm saying?
She was squirming.
Yeah. So he's telling her, like, stop moving, and he taps into character and was like, do you know what I do to kids that just be acting bad? I punish them. And he scared this little girl so bad. She straightened out. I thought she was going to pee on herself.
She did. She straightened out and she ran to her mom. And they talking about something. He's so great with kids.
I wrote that. I said, adults are so stupid. I'm just like, but see, low-key, Billy pulled a grandpa. That's who he tapped into. That's really what it was. So Sister M calls Iris to check on Billy. And Butthole Andy tells him that he doesn't work in the stockroom anymore because now he's Santa Claus. And now you want to be concerned, Sister Margaret?
Like, really? She looked so shocked. Like,
so shocked.
They knew the grave mistake that they made dressing him up as Santa.
It's 7 o'clock. It's closing time. Mr. Sims is like, lock this door.
he said it's time to get shit.
Okay, he's serious. First of all, let me tell you something. He was partying back in the day. He was one of those. Why didn't Billy change out that suit?
I don't know. And I put that he needed to take that costume off.
Yeah.
And then giving him those shots, giving him the alcohol and pouring him up, Mr. Sims was setting him up for failure.
And then you can tell, like, he didn't even want to drink. Like I said before, in the montage, we see Stockroom Andy give him the drink or offer him a drink. He's like, no, I got my milk. But I guess, because, I don't know, I guess you feel more safe when someone you trust hands you stuff like that. I mean, even though that can backfire as well. I honestly think that's what set him off, though.
The alcohol.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that disoriented him a little bit. So while we're at the party, and first of all, this made me miss office parties.
I'm so sad that I'm not gonna have my office party this year. Like,
girl, yeah.
And you know that I live for my office.
Wait, time out, guys. Announcement. Go ahead, say it.
Like, you know, I live for my office party in January. Like, I be on Instagram showing the freak out.
No, Johnny, tell them what's about to happen. That's not what I was talking about.
Oh, in the movie?
No, with you, girl.
What's happening?
Johnny about to graduate, y'all.
Oh, yeah. My graduation's on Wednesday.
A nice office party.
Yeah, my graduation's on Wednesday.
I'm gonna put a little clap right here. Girl. She had no idea what I'm like.
What's happening?
I'm all hype over here, just waiting on her to say it.
I graduate Wednesday.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
So, Andy takes Pamela off to the back of the room.
Yeah, I was like, not with Pamela going in the back with stockroom Andy.
Okay.
Now,
why am I saying this like I'm surprised?
Now you say, do we do this at office parties? No. So our office parties, we have dates. So this is what my job does. They pay for, so they normally have it at a hotel, and if they don't have it at the hotel, they'll like have it at a restaurant, and then they'll still pay for a hotel room. So yes.
Oh, I do remember you telling me.
Yeah, they pay for a hotel room, and then so that you can spend the night and not have to drive home drunk or whatever, because literally it's like open bar. Yeah. And so most people bring their own date. So I've only brought one person with me to all five of the all five of the office parties that I went to, but some people have a different date every year, and I peeped that. Yeah. But you know, but I have noticed sometimes when you go to that, because like there's the party, but then there's the after party, right? Where like the partners, they'll open the tab up at the hotel bar, they order pizza, whatever. That's where I need to be at. And
just in the mix.
Sometimes, so last year was the first year that I made it to the after party.
Come on, after party.
And I witnessed some things, and I can't say this. It do look like sometimes some people do be running off with some other people. I knew it. Especially if their spouse go up to the room before them.
Oh wait, okay.
But
party fell.
Yeah.
Mr. Sims makes the mistake, and he makes the party super awkward by bringing up his parents. So Billy's like in his own zone, you know. I don't want to say that Billy is drunk, but you know, if you never drank before, so one cup would do it for you.
I think he was drunk, but also kind of mad that he was witnessing creepy stockroom Andy.
Exactly. So he got a lot of emotions going on. He's got this dude making a move on this girl that probably doesn't even know that he likes her. He thinking about his parents. He's in this Santa suit. He just got a lot of emotions going on.
And Mr. Sims won't shut the freak up.
Yeah, he made it awkward. So,
he made it worse.
He made it worse because no one told them that his parents had died from Santa Claus. And even then,
he kept telling him, do what you need to do. Be jolly. Don't you got a long night ahead of you?
Yeah.
But like the thing is that he was talking in terms of Santa Claus having a long night with like
delivering presents to children.
But no, of course, Billy takes it as Santa Claus got a long night of killing people. Exactly. And Mr. Sims talking about go ahead and get it done. Like, what?
And this is where the bop comes back, Johnny. Once again.
Santa's watching, Santa's creeping. Now you're nodding, now you're sleeping. Were you good for Mom and Dad? Santa knows if you've been bad.
So mind you, Mr. Sims and Miss Randall are drunk singing this.
I am like dead that she really got this downloaded on her phone.
Yo, so it's a little bop though. Look at
it is. Billy, have you ever been so drunk that you just went to the bathroom and you just seemed like you thought you were like drunker? Yeah. You're just staring at yourself in the mirror. This is Billy right now, okay? Billy's not in the bathroom, but he's just standing next to his sleigh, and he in his thoughts, okay? Because at this point, Stockroom Andy and Pam are going to the back, and this is where Billy decides that he's going to go to the back too. But did you notice that this encounter kind of parallels what happened to his mom? Because you know, trigger warning, sorry guys, trigger warning I guess for rape, molestation,
more like rape, date rape at this point.
Andy decides that he's just going to push himself on Pamela. She doesn't want to.
Okay, so before that, Did you notice what Andy said? He real nasty talking about something. He got a present for her.
Yeah,
and then,
first of all, that sounds like so high school. So
and then
college.
she talking about something. If you got a present for me back here, why don't you just bring it out so everyone can see?
Right. He
Knowing
was like,
that present being that dick, oh nasty ass.
Okay, boy, why do y'all do that? Crickets. Oh, okay. The council don't want to tell us. They don't want to open the group
And they
chat.
had to put, after this, I had to put that Santa song as creepy. Because that's when they actually started singing the Santa song. When now Stockroom Andy is pushing up on Pamela. And
Santa really was watching.
And creeping.
Yeah.
And they sitting there drunk singing the song. Trip me out.
So wait, so at this point, this is where he's having his way with her.
Like trying to rape her and
Why
stuff.
is he rubbing his... Did you see the way he was rubbing his face on her chest? I was like, that. I don't want you to do what you're trying to do, but if you're gonna do it, like, yeah, I would. It was just annoying for me. Anyway, Billy flips out, okay, because at this point he's having flashbacks. He's trying to process what's going on in front of him, and he flips out and kills Andy.
But here's the thing: I low key liked how the flashbacks made him turn into a crazy Santa.
Yeah, because he's trying to fight it. Because
once he was watching them just make out at first, but then like once he like rips open the shirt, Stockroom Andy rips open her shirt and like starts to like try to force himself upon her. That's when Billy starts having those flashbacks of his mom.
I think it was right
assaulted.
like when he opened her shirt, when he ripped her shirt
right.
open. Once again, it's the boobs.
Right. So because the first Killer Santa ripped open his mom's shirt. So now it's like, okay, you have that same visual of somebody ripping over the shirt. She's not happy. Now you over here covering her mouth so she can't scream.
Oh, and also remember, Pam smacks Andy.
Yeah, she's
just like his mom smacked Santa.
So now he's having flashbacks of
like it's this that. Oh yeah, remember I said that earlier. Like this whole situation parallel.
Yeah. So he's sitting there back up against the shelf having flashbacks of scene by scene of his mom and intertwined with Pamela. So it's crazy how his face went from being scared in between those flashback shots to like boom, crazy killer.
Billy kills Andy by strangling him. So we see that Andy's shorter than him, but I doubt that Billy's that tall to hang him like that.
No, he lifted him up. Like, where the fuck did superhero strength come from?
Yeah, and like those lights definitely would have snapped. But anyway, I'm gonna let you have it. Pamela is an ungrateful bitch.
Was it the alcohol? Is that
maybe? I don't know, but I said what I said. Pamela, girl, you could have been alive. All you had to do was just say thank you and run to the front. That's all you had to do. Your tits could have been out. All of that. That's all you had to do was just say thank you and run to the front. While he was killing them, you could have ran. You ain't even had to say thank you then. You could have just ran. You did the most. I'm not victim blaming at all, but she could have avoided her death.
He didn't have to kill her though.
He didn't have to kill her, but she triggered him. Boobs was out. She was being naughty. She was having sex. Remember when the teenagers was having sex in the orphanage, that triggered him. That was naughty. She was being naughty.
That's true.
So then we get back to the front, because at this point, this is where Mr. Sims is kind of like realizing, okay, where everybody go. Even though it was like 2 random employees that were there at the beginning of the party, and I guess they just went home, I guess.
He was shit faced.
He was. Okay. But before this happens, did you notice that Billy quotes Mother Superior when he kills Pam, saying that punishment is absolute and is necessary? So, poor thing. Mr. Sims comes to the back, and you know how you go in the basement when you little and you trying to psych yourself out by saying something not scary? Basically, Mr. Sims does this in the stock room and gets fucked up by the end of an axe. Or no, end of a hammer.
Bruh,
yeah, I said, baby, why would you?
But the way he turned around when he said you,
he was on the swivel. Bro, I wish y'all could see us doing this.
Yo, I cracked up laughing so hard. Oh.
So after Mr. Sims gets a hammer to the head, Billy cuts the power, and Miss Randall's drunk ass, she's like, Mr. Sims, he's so wonderful.
Mr. makes sense.
Like, girl, what you thought you was ready to get romance? Girl, I feel you. Anyway. She goes to the back and she spots Mr. Sims, so she runs out to the front and she almost makes it out, but she doesn't. But what happens is she's smart. So Billy's creeping, and I do like this because he's quoting, "'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, yada yada yada." He sees the top of her hat, like the little brown hat, and I'm like, damn, she caught. She is so smart that she set the hat up there on purpose, and she was hiding somewhere else. And I think she like pushes a display on him or something so she can run away. Like, bide her time. Very smart, okay? She slept on, but she still falls short because why didn't she just smash it with the axe? Why did she try to turn around and smash the wall? Baby, that's brick.
No, that was window.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
So I thought the door.
So it's like the door was glass, but then where she turned to, that was a glass window.
Okay, got you.
So she turned to like smash the window, but that arrow.
I was about to say, baby, that's definitely brick. Okay, so he catches her with a bow and arrow, and she bleeds out. Okay. I love how everything ties together, though. Billy leaves soon after, and I like how the little sticker says, "Thanks for doing business with us." I'm like, wow. I wonder, was that intentional? I like stuff like that. Sister M walks in late as hell, walks into a murder scene, but I like how it jumps cuts to the nutcrackers with their mouth open when she's screaming. I love stuff like that. Anyway, I feel like this movie gonna get a high rating from both of us. Now we're at Denise's house. This is so random.
That was
I
random.
will say, no.
That's why I was like, this is soft porn. This is soft porn.
What I would have done is I would have made, like, Denise, like, Pam's sister or something. I don't know, just so it have, I don't know the reason, but, you know, maybe she could have.
They just wanted boobs. They just wanted boobs in the movie. That's
so this is Linnea. This is her time to shine. Her and her boyfriend Tommy are making out on the pool, and their little sister, or not there. Denise's little sister, Cindy, she wants to stay up, but you know how you do. If you stay up, you're going to be bad. Santa not going to come. All of that stuff. Tommy is corny. Because when she was like, if you stay up, Santa Claus not going to come. He was like,
he's
Santa's
not the only
thing
one
that's going to come. I was like... Then the other one, he was like,
he was like, Santa won't come. He's not the only one. And she rolled her eyes. Yeah, I put that too. 2 balls in the corner pocket. And then she was like, ooh, like, sir.
Denise thinks she hears her cat outside the door, and she answers, first of all, sis.
And I put this too. So you put on shorts to open the door but no shirt? Make sense.
First of all, you're in Utah. I'm pretty sure it's cold. Why do you have on shorts?
Right. Daisy Duke said that. Daisy Duke's coochie cutter shorts.
Now, I'm not going to act like I don't be walking around this house in shorts and stuff.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. She's laying on the pool table. Well, all she has on is her her panties.
Right.
So
which, I mean, you know, naturally.
Cool.
Right.
I get it, because that's the order of operations.
Obviously.
When you start to do the do. But my thing is, I was thinking that you'd put on a shirt to go open the door.
Something.
No, you put on shorts to go open the door, but you still have your boobs out.
Right.
Make it make sense.
So she's letting in the cat. The cat doesn't come at first, but he ends up coming in as soon
door
as she...
wide open. Like, there weren't Christmas carolers just outside singing.
Across the street.
So you open the front door, calling your cat with shorts on and just bare chest.
Billy surprises her, and this is where they get into a little tussle. They're all in the living room making all types of noise. First off, I know Tommy can't hear her because they turn up the music before she goes up to get the cat. Cindy, you ain't hear none of that? You just... I don't know what she thought this was. Anyway, I know she wasn't asleep that quick because this was literally moments later. Billy ends up mantling Denise on top of a deer bust. And when I saw this for the first time, my mouth was wide open because the effects on this are so good. You literally see it go in through her back. If you ever seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's what we thought we saw with that hook kill. If you know what I'm talking about with the hook kill, and we all thought we saw it go in our head. No, in this movie, we actually see it go in. And this is where we get this like Merry Christmas Baby song. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's another one of those made up. It was a lot of songs made up for this movie. This is another one of those. Tommy's downstairs still, And at this point, he's like, okay, what's taking her so long? So he goes up to look for Denise. And I want to know, like, when he walked in, how didn't he not just see her right there off top? Because it wasn't like he came from this way. He came from this way. She was right there. So
some people don't look up, just like some people don't look down.
He turns around and he sees her. At this point, Billy comes and they're fighting. But Tommy low-key gets the best of him because he knocks him over the stair banister and he tries to call the police. Billy comes back, pulls the phone plug line, strangles him with the phone cord, and then throws him out the window. The glass effects on his body looked really good.
Yeah, that was
like
so
they messed
weird.
him up.
Yeah.
Cindy finally wakes up and spots Santa out in the hall. And Santa Claus, after interrogating this poor child, asking her was she good, gives her a bloody switchblade, the one that he kills Pamela with. Now, see, that's why I was like, it would have made more sense, like, if those were Pamela's little sisters. Because imagine, like, you find Pamela, right? And she's dead. And you know, like, some type of object killed her. But then you found the murder object at her house. You like true crime. You know that just tickled your true crime funny bone. You know it did. See, that's why she laughing. Because she know I'm not lying. Anyway. Also, before this scene is over, do you notice that Billy dang near like trips coming out the door? Like, you just gotta watch it, guys. I noticed stuff like that. Anyway, at this point, the police are looking for Billy, and they actually spot a Santa Claus that's like creeping into a window. First of all, they pull up. I have my dudes pull up. Bust into the house. The mom's like, what are you doing? No warning. First of all, how did y'all bust into that house with so much finesse like that? Go up the stairs to the child's room. First of all, you've never been in this house. How do you know the layout of this house? Wake up this poor little baby and ruins Christmas for her forever because her dad was trying to be nice and surprise her by being Santa Claus. She was like, Daddy!
Now she knows her parents are really Santa.
Okay, I'm like... They're like, Daddy. So meanwhile, Billy is walking the streets and staying out of dodge from the police. Two kids, Bob and Matt, are outside sledding, but they hesitate because they hear some stuff.
He heard them jingles.
Yeah, they on a swivel.
Only one heard the jingle, though.
Mm-hmm. But it ends up being, it is Billy.
But he ain't pop out then.
Yeah. So what does come out are two bullies. I didn't really catch their names, but anyway, what comes out is two bullies.
They don't matter. They're bullies.
Right, you're right. They end up taking these poor little boys' sled, and one sleds down the hill, and he waits for his friend. As the other one comes down, Billy pops out of the woodwork and beheads him. Now this, when I saw this for the first time, this got me too, because this dude's body kept going.
Yeah, inertia.
And it looked so good, though. Like, the way... Okay, so I'm going to try to set it up for you. If you're watching it on your TV screen... The left side of your screen is kind of filled with trees, so it's a lot of shadows casting. So when the boy come down, you really can't even, like, see. We know what happened, but the other little boy that's waiting at the bottom of the hill don't know what happened. So he just coming down. This boy, he was genuinely scared. Them screams.
He made me mad.
Real
He made me mad, though, because I'm like, you're just standing there screaming. If you don't run.
But I feel like that's a genuine reaction. I would be shook like that, too. I probably would tried to run, but he was genuinely like, because you, and then also like, you didn't see Billy, you just see your friend body coming down. You don't know if he like hit a low branch or something. You don't know what happened.
There were no branches when I came down there.
True, but
and his head was, didn't the head come rolling down after him? I would have been gone.
Now when I seen the head, I probably would have had to leave and just be like, hey, this is where I found him, blah 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 blah. Sister Margaret is out sleeping on a police bench. At this point, she finds out that there were 3 more murders. So, Denise, Tommy, and then a little bully boy. She's trying to explain why Billy was set off, which gives Dr. Conway the idea that they could probably predict his next attack. So now it's Christmas, and the kids are all opening their gifts and stuff. But one of these little badass kids is in Mother Superior's office. Why are you in there? She's on the phone. She leaves the phone off the hook. So as they set off to the orphanage, he instructs all other officers to go to the orphanage and just be prepared to shoot if necessary. So we got these kids playing outside. They see this Santa Claus coming across the street. And I want to say it's Billy's brother that actually sees him first. And
I don't think that was Billy's brother. I think it was another kid.
Okay. So Officer Barnes is coming down the street and he spots the Santa. He's telling the kids to get away from him, but they're still coming towards him. And he lets off 3 rounds and Santa Claus is back, killing them. And that wasn't even him.
They killed an innocent Santa, and now you got more traumatized kids on your hands.
But see, my thing is, these kids, I don't know if anybody told them what type of movie they were in. Because these kids are not phased. They just look at this man on the ground. Like, nobody, I expected one kid needs to be screaming and hollering.
No, so, not screaming, but like the one who reached out to him just was like, he said,
no, his reaction, he was the only one that reacted. All the other kids in the back were just standing there like, okay.
Okay, so here's the other thing too.
Cameras.
Based off of some true crime episodes that I've watched.
Here she comes.
Some kids don't really get the whole gunshot thing, and they don't really get the killing thing, because there was like a mass shooting that happened at a school, an elementary school, and when the shots were being fired and people were dropping like flies in front of the school, the kids were still out there playing because they didn't get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, some kids just don't, unless you've been in that environment where you've grown up around people getting shot and killed and dying in front of you, like kids in the hood. Yeah.
Look, that's why I'm like, y'all don't know what that is. Dang, John, they just read me. So at this point, they think that it's Billy that's been killed. But actually, we find out that it's Father O'Brien. And he didn't respond to Officer Barnes because he's deaf.
Yo, that made me so upset. I was like, dang.
Like, he didn't even hear it coming.
But no, that just made me upset too, because it's like, how many people, it's made like such left field, but like, how many people has that happened to, where like you're sitting there saying, stop, police, the person's deaf, and now they did because they couldn't hear.
Mother Superior ain't trying to hear whatever Officer Barnes has to say. She says,
I don't like her.
All he's done since he's been around the orphanage has brought harm, and she's all about keeping these kids safe. But he also triggered her when he called her sister.
But my thing was, why didn't the police officers just say, yo, we got a killer Santa?
Well, see, remember they were trying to call the orphanage, and that badass little girl left the phone off the hook.
But I'm saying that police officer, why didn't he just say, there's a killer Santa? Because she was like, you killed Santa Claus, basically for no reason. Yeah. She's not understanding that there's somebody dressed up as Santa Claus.
I think he did. I think he said it'll make sense when whoever...
Right, he said it would make sense when somebody gets here, but you still didn't explain to her that there's somebody dressed up as Santa Claus out here killing people.
But I don't think, can you do that? I don't think they can do that, though.
Why not? Because now...
Well, I mean, like, I don't think he can... I don't know. Like, I think that's, like, some police stuff. I don't know for sure, but I don't... You know how, like, when you go to a crime scene, or, like, when you... Not you, but, you know, like, when you at a crime scene or, like, an act of something, like, they can't give you too many details because you might be in cahoots with somebody.
They don't know who it is. I think they can't do that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you're not supposed to tell info. I don't think you're supposed to tell. So I think that's why he told her, like, you gotta... I can't explain. I think that's the thing.
I mean, I get it, but if there's somebody dressed up as Santa Claus running around killing people, you don't really know any details. You just know that he dressed up as Santa Claus killing people.
I mean, well, they tried to warn him, but that little girl left the phone off the hook. Is really her fault.
I don't like Mother Superior. I wish she had got cat.
Officer Barnes goes ahead and searches the place while Mother Superior tries to corral the kids, and she's like, she has one of them go get her She has one of the kids go and get her harmonica, and she takes it out and tests it. She was like, ooh. The acting in this movie, like, there was no bad actor. I'm sorry. Nobody was bad to me. Everybody was funny to me. Anyway, Officer Barnes spots an outhouse of some sort, and it has, like, a swinging door, so he thinks somebody's in there. He checks it out. No one's in there. He comes back up. Billy pops him with an axe, sending him careening back down the stairs. He's out the story. Then he makes his way back to the orphanage, beheads the poor little snowman with a bloody axe. But I mean, I guess he just wanted to clean it before he got into the orphanage. Anyway, he goes in, and before anything, the little kid named Andrew goes to open the door. Mother Superior is like, Andrew, come back. We need altos. Whole time, Andrew spots Santa Claus, and he's going to open the door for him. Mother Superior is trying to stop him at this point. And I guess Now this is I don't know if she was stopping him. This is kind of like what you said earlier. So did she know, or did she just recognize that was?
I don't
Billy?
know. But I'm like, you, like, she pissed me off because you was pissing him off even more.
So Richard realizes that that's his brother. Mother Superior flat out tells all these kids that Santa Claus isn't real. Because at this point, Andrews let Billy in and, the axe is behind his back. He gets ready to ask Mother Superior. And I am cheering because
I wanted her to get popped.
as soon as he gets ready, he gets popped twice in the back. It's a whole Boys in the Hood Ricky moment.
I wanted her.
And I was hoping that when he came down, that it just caught her.
As he started falling, he like grabbed onto her arm, and then she had enough
And
to
she muffed him off. I was just like, first of all, we didn't even mention that at this point she's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, Sister Margaret comes over and she's trying to comfort him. And this is probably the only part of the movie that I really, really didn't like. We're at the very end now. He says, "You're all right, children. Santa Claus is dead," or whatever he says. And he does that dramatic last word, die. I didn't like that. Anyway, I do like the camera pan that goes from Billy to the axe to the shoes of Richard and up to him. And he looks at Mother Superior and he cuts her a hard one and goes, "Naughty."
And now Richard's about to be the killer.
All right, guys. So that's
now
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Now I want to go watch part 2 and 3.
Part 2?
Yeah, because part 2 has Richard now being the killer, and part 2 and 3.
Okay, well, from what I know, I haven't seen part 2, but from what I know, it ain't this.
Oh, boo.
Yeah.
I do know part 4 and 5 have nothing to do with
at all.
Yeah.
That's normally
they're
what
entirely
happens.
different, and they each focus on a different Christmas themed horror story.
So there's also in part 5 Mickey Rooney. He's in part 5, but oddly enough, when this one came out, he talked so much shit about this movie. He was one of those people that was one of them Karens, and I don't know what we call the men, but he was one of them, okay? Anyway, before we get too far into it, let's go ahead and go to this souvenir shop.
It seems you survived. Well, before you go, join us in the souvenir shop.
As I was saying earlier, I never had this movie really on my radar, but one thing that I do know about this movie is the cover art for this one. I feel like this is just an iconic one that you would see at Blockbuster when you go with your parents. And I don't know if a lot of y'all sound like you guys are like me, that I would just go and wander by myself and go be in a horror section or wherever I was going to be at when I was by myself.
I'm traumatized from wandering away.
So this movie poster, it has a chimney and it's Billy's arm. First of all, I was like, all right, so you want to be Kate's dad too? You want to go down chimneys and get stuck too, Billy? Be my guest. Anyway, so it's just a picture of Billy's arm, and it's out of the chimney, and he's holding the axe. But it also looks like it's very uncomfortable now that I look at it.
Yeah, that elbow don't look too good.
Yeah, but still, this cover. Every time I seen it, I just knew I felt like I wasn't supposed to watch this movie. So that's probably why I never watched it. But I'm glad I did because I freaking love it. So this souvenir shop. It's not really a lot here. There is a soundtrack for this awesome music that's been throughout the whole movie, but that's pretty much it. Now, I will say, I do believe that if you search, you can find different t-shirts and things like that, but remember, this movie got pulled.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and Ira, the producer, she had to buy the rights back to the movie to get it put back in, which is also why we brought up when you watch the movie now, it glitches back from quality to quality. A few sweatshirts that I've seen, they have this Christmas sweater. It's basically the movie poster, but it says Punish at the bottom. Wait, let's talk about that real quick. I would have loved if he said different Christmas catchphrases. Like, I don't know. Like, can you imagine him swinging the axe and saying Jingle All the Way? That's probably corny.
Yeah, very corny. But I got tired of hearing him saying punish. Oh my
goodness, guys.
Punish.
Time out. When I did this episode, I wanted us to say naughty like Fred from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Do you guys remember that episode that I'm talking about? Johnny, do you know what I'm talking about? So do you guys remember that episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog when Mariel's nephew Fred came and he was naughty?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I wanted us to say naughty like that the whole show. It's okay, I forgot. Whatever. Anyway, that's really all that's in this souvenir shop. So, sis, you ready to rate this thing?
Yeah.
Or do you see anything in the souvenir shop?
Okay, so I don't have any souvenirs, but I can talk to you about the budget. So, it grossed $2.5 million on a budget of $750,000 during the opening week.
Right. Because remember, I told you it was smacking Freddy's ass.
Right. So, on the opening weekend, it finished 8th, grossing $1.4 million. It outgrossed A Nightmare on Elm Street, which opened the same day. Wow. And then before it was pulled from theaters, it grossed over $2.4 million in the first 10 days.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I just really want to know, like, sometimes I imagine, like, what was it like being a teenager in that time? Like, y'all was seeing some stuff in the 80s, okay?
That was my mom's 20s.
I don't feel like doing math right now, but, yeah. So, without further ado, I guess we can go ahead and rate this bad boy. Miss Janae?
I give it an 80.
Oh, whoa, did she say an 80?
I give it an 80.
Okay, wait, now let's go back. I'm just gonna do this month. I ain't gonna jag her like that. So for Better Watch Out, she was a 30%.
Yeah, I gave him a 30.
For Gremlin, she was a 70%. So I can't come too hard. An 80? Go ahead, tell us why.
Well, I gave Mikey a 90.
I wasn't gonna go back that far. You did? You gave it a 90?
Yeah, I gave Mikey a 90, and I gave Sweet Alice an 85.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go back that far. I was gonna.
You know what's funny? I gave Better Watch Out a worse rating than The Good Son.
Yeah, I saw. Cause okay, it's like The Good Son wasn't. It was just a lot of 90s stuff going on. But no, tell me why this 80. I'm excited.
I really liked it. Like, I laughed a lot. I got some good gore.
So that's what you like. That's your type of movie.
The plot line was great.
Now, I will say the plot line for me, I loved it. The only thing, I was just like,
I didn't get annoyed.
Nobody discussing that this man has this trauma?
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Don't be that friend. If you know somebody is scared of something, you know somebody don't mess with nothing, don't be that person, okay? Don't be Sister Margaret.
But yeah, that's why I liked it. It gave me the gore I needed. It had a nice plot line. The story didn't annoy me. Mm-hmm. Like, I got annoyed of Better Watch Out after a certain point. And it was another movie I got annoyed with after a certain point, too. I can't remember. But it might have been... No, I didn't really get annoyed with The Good Son. I just was mad because it wasn't...
It was Lifetime.
Basically.
It was a Lifetime. It was a after-school TV special. That's what it was.
But I really liked it.
I'm excited to hear that.
So it actually made, and that's the thing, because I liked it so much, it made me want to watch the next one. Like, I just wanted to stay.
Yeah, I've never heard you say that.
I wanted to watch the next one. I was like, all right, let's watch part 2. But then I was like, no, I gotta eat now.
Okay, for this one, I'm gonna give it very cliche, but it came out in 1984, so I'm gonna give it an 84. I mess with this movie. Like, now, I don't know if it's one that I'm gonna watch every year for Christmas. Now, maybe if I get bored and I'm just like in a horror Christmas movie mood, maybe. But I just really like how I felt so sorry. How many shots did you guys take this episode? Are you guys drunk? I wonder how many times did I say it. Anyway, I just feel so sorry for Billy. Sister Margaret, I want to square up with you. Mother Superior, I want to square up with you.
I was really hoping that she caught the axe to the temple or something.
I wonder if she in part 2. I don't want to look it up and mess it up for myself. I guess we'll find out next year. Unless we end up watching it in between time. We don't have to wait for this show. Well, guys. Dang, I don't want to tell you guys bye yet. Well,
we'll be watching next week.
We're watching Krampus next week. Now, guys, don't get confused. We're watching the Krampus with Toni Collette in it, okay? The one that came out in 2015. Not the one that came out in 2016 with William Shatner. I think this one is actually Krampus Unleashed, not Krampus A Christmas Story or Christmas Horror Story, whichever one that one is. Okay, guys? So we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.